You're not making a person. Now, if I felt energetic,
I do that behind your back, Pritesh, not to your face.
I know, and I talk to your brother behind your back. It's fantastic. He's like, we don't live for the male gaze. I'm like, they all do.
That's right. This bun is not for the male gaze.
This tube top is for the male gaze.
Some people are just happy, like they're dumb and they're like, oh, I love my job. I'm not like that.
It's called being numb.
I love how happiness got equated to dumb. They're just dumb, so they're happy.
They don't know any better.
No, ignorance is bliss, you guys.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the ConvoSutra. We are back with another fantastic episode. We have our usual panelist here with some fun conversation. How about we do a quick intro for our audio listeners?
Let's do it. Hi, guys. I'm Bushra Khan.
Hey, what's up? Pritesh, Shah.
Hey guys, I'm Jasmine Singh.
Yeah, amazing panelist here on this fine day here in Los Angeles.
It's a dream team.
Yeah, the dream team. Bushra wore her colors today. I really like that.
Yeah,
Bushra.
you know, I knew everyone else was gonna go neutral.
Dull.
Actually, you guys are all matching, and I just needed to stand out.
I like your.
apparently.
I think I got out of bed
You're
or something.
stylish.
We should have all worn hot pink.
We should have.
Yeah, we should have Barbied it out. Tarun said I look like a conservative wife. I am a
what I said.
conservative wife. So
Trad wife?
Hold on, but she's an amazing dancer, by the way. Bushra, if you don't know, Bushra is an incredible dancer. Follow on Instagram. She's pretty
at
incredible.
Be Confident.
Yeah. Yeah, be confident. We can plug all that stuff. And she used to be a dancer, I guess, when she was 12 years old.
You know, guys, we're all dancers, okay?
Did you
Literally
dance
the
in the
opposite of what
She
I
was
said.
she was doing the Nicki Minaj challenge.
Did you
in
used
the
to dance when
kitchen.
you were a kid or something? When you were like 12?
Cheer.
No, I did competitive cheer.
How
what
dare
point-
you confuse cheer with dance?
I thought you said at
Well-
one point we all did Bollywood dances.
No, I said I secretly,
Yeah.
in my
You want to know
room.
the one cheer that I know?
What?
On the basketball team, the cheerleaders, this is my favorite cheer. Traveling, traveling, take your suitcase home.
That's a cheer?
That's actually.
It was
great.
a cheer at my nerdy high school.
Oh, interesting.
Traveling.
Well, I thought I would start off this episode. You know, this is a question nobody knows. Nobody knows this
Ooh.
question. Just to start off, as a conversation point, do you ever feel you're not Indian enough or too Indian in America?
Mm.
Well, I'm
In
Bangladeshi,
America.
so.
You're what?
I said I'm Bangladeshi, so.
Oh,
don't-
fine,
you don't-
Bangladeshi.
She doesn't feel Indian enough.
I don't feel Indian
So,
enough.
so there's your answer.
So I don't feel any at all. It's weird.
Do you feel Bangladeshi enough or too Bangladeshi in America?
Do you feel desi enough?
Yeah, there you go.
I feel like no, you never do. You're always like, you always grew up differently than somebody else. You're always going to have a different story, a different narrative, and how you relate to your culture is going to be different how someone else does. Like there are other South Asian influencers who bring in fashion and content in a way where they like severely promote the culture. And
Yeah.
my relationship with my culture is so different that I don't promote it in that same way. So yeah, I don't know if enough is ever enough.
Or too much.
Yeah, or too much. I know people who are way too much. I'm like, dude, calm down, dude. Relax.
Well, I feel like during COVID, the social media space was, for South Asians in particular, it almost felt like you had to be super Indian to stand out and to have a higher engagement. Like you had to be like, everything had to do with your culture. And I'm just kind of tired of it. I'm like tired of being brown. Can I just be a girl?
So maybe you feel too brown.
Yeah, I feel like my content was too brown, and that's not how brown I am all the time, you know?
Yeah.
But you, Pritesh.
This is. I never think about being Indian, or I never think about that.
Or what
See
about
color.
in comedy? Like, do you feel like you always have to make
No.
brown jokes?
No, I just make jokes that are
No.
real to me. I'm never trying to play to the Indian audience. I'm never trying to be Indian. I think I'm trying to shed identities, not try to, this whole search for identity to me is kind of like a lost cause. But because I just am. And
Just is.
I just am. And like some people may connect to my jokes because they're Indian, but I'm not trying to make Indian jokes. It's just my parents talk that way. So that's
Yeah.
like my reality. But then there's other things where I think people will be like, you're not Indian at all. Like I haven't watched a Bollywood movie in like 5 years because I don't care to. And she
Yeah.
might think that's not Indian of me. You know? So I don't know.
Just not appropriate.
Yeah.
But do you think, and I don't know, as you spoke, do you think it's because you were comfortably raised Desi and like speaking the language, religious,
that's a good
whatever, so
point.
you feel like confident enough in your Indian skin that you don't have to feel like you have to be more Indian?
I think, okay, I mean, you make a point. I grew up first 4 years in India. My mom made me speak Gujarati in the home, all that type of stuff. And I do have like a solid family. At the same time, my parents really didn't like that I didn't have enough Indian friends. And then I got a lot of Indian friends, and they were the worst influences on my life. Like it was always my Indian friends that made fun of me for not drinking or doing stuff. Like all my white friends never cared.
Interesting.
My Indian friends were the ones who like made me experiment and do things. And I'm not saying it's an Indian or white. That was just my reality.
Rebelling.
Yeah, rebelling.
Where did you grow up?
San Diego. And then my parents got that reality check where like just because you have Indian friends doesn't mean you have moral, ethical friends. They just happen to look like us.
Yeah, sure.
And so then,
Just because they're becoming doctors doesn't mean they're good people.
but I think that was a good reality check for them, right? Because that doesn't equate moral compass,
yeah,
right? That just means familiarity doesn't mean it's good necessarily or bad, right? So
right.
then I like some of my closest friends, some are Indian, some not. They're all over the map, all sexual. Like it just has little impact on my life.
Yeah.
Like spiritual connections, a deep connection, a deep connection. I don't really care what language you speak and stuff.
Yeah,
You got approval from Bushra. She likes that.
very worldly, Pritesh.
Yeah.
Global perspective.
Jasmine?
Do I feel not Indian enough or too Indian?
Now with that outfit, you're definitely...
Yeah, but our hot podcast,
hot.
hot chai pod.
She's just a hot girl.
This is Indian enough. And you know what? Yeah, I stand by that. You know, bring back our traditional attire. That is
Actually,
sensual.
it's giving me Y2K Bollywood, you know?
Well, can I just
It
say, like,
is.
Indians, like, back in the day when I was growing up, like, it was more conservative. Now I see, like, these, like, Indians out there, like, females and men who are just kind of, like, putting it all out there, like,
Flamboyant.
sensual.
They're on OnlyFans,
sexy,
bro.
OnlyFans.
Wearing a bindi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess my upbringing was probably very different from yours, right? Like I don't speak Hindi. We don't speak Hindi in the house. My parents are not from India. They're from Fiji. So, and my dad came here in high school. So a little bit more whitewashed probably growing up, not religious at all.
Which,
So
like, a lot of the times religion influences a lot of the culture.
the culture and the community that you're around. And so growing up in South OC, I mean, also very white, but also very Asian and stuff too. So I felt maybe growing up, I found Bollywood when I was 8, right? And I brought my parents back into it. And then I was like exploring that identity in high school a little bit. And like I gave up beef for a year. You know, I was like trying to like understand where I was falling on the spectrum. And then I've always had Indian friends, a mix of friends. And in college, I wasn't like in an Indian group or anything. I wasn't on an Indian dance team or anything. I wasn't.
Yeah.
So maybe I
you
felt
in a
not Indian
sorority?
enough. Huh?
Were you in a sorority?
No. Anti.
She does have sorority vibes.
No, I have fraternity vibes. I have hazing vibes. And so whatever. You have to know thyself. And no, I can't be managed and I can't be told what to do. So sorority is not
Fantastic.
my
You
journey.
sound like a
yeah,
charm.
I agree.
We've heard of a sorority?
No, I was not.
You give sorority energy though.
Really?
Dude, I can imagine Pritesh in a
No, I
frat.
cannot.
Yeah, I can.
What?
You're fraternity energy.
Why?
He's
What does
definitely
that mean?
fraternity energy.
What does that mean?
You're like a corraller. You're like
I am.
come
Let's
on,
go,
guys,
guys.
bring the
Let's
vibes.
go,
Let's
guys.
go.
party.
I was,
together.
I was a club promoter. I did all of that stuff. I would make so much money. It was amazing.
Oh my god.
But my dad would never let me join a frat. So I just was like, I would be in the frat, not have to do all this stuff because you're not going to haze me. That's not going to
Exactly.
Well, speaking
I
of
want to haze you. You know, actually, no, but to finish that thought, now maybe as I've gotten older, I'm very comfortable being Indian and I eat a lot of Indian food. I cook a lot of Indian. I watch Bollywood. I have the Bollywood podcast. I'm
She's
trying to
brown.
learn more
She's
Hindi.
really brown.
Yeah.
You know, and so sometimes now, funny enough, maybe I'm like, am I too Indian? It's like all Indian music. I'm cooking all Indian. You know, I'm like, what am I doing? You know, like, and I'm like,
Who are
is
you?
it-
What are you trying to prove?
yeah, am I like isolating myself from like the more diverse community I used to surround myself with?
But is
And-
that authentic? Are you being authentic to
Yeah,
you, or
I feel-
you're putting on a show?
No, I'm not, and
Then-
you know,
then
I'm
it
like
doesn't matter,
following like
yeah.
Ayurveda, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
you know, very interested in
Holistic
historically what's
approach.
going on.
Yeah.
But I do all
Yeah.
that stuff too. I have Ganesh everywhere. I go to a temple once a week. I do mala every day. So I guess it
God.
could be like that's very Indian.
Yeah.
But to me, that's just part of my
Authentic.
journey and authentic. So I don't equate it to I'm trying to be anything.
But I think some Indians here in LA would think I'm too Indian.
Really?
I absolutely, and I don't maybe come across that way, but I think in my day to day they'd be like, all right, it's enough with the Indian food.
But isn't it just
you know?
perspective? You're too Indian compared to someone who's doesn't connect to it, and you're not enough Indian for someone else who would be like she's not. You know, so like
Oh, 100%.
it's all comparative.
You know what's
Yeah.
funny? Like my white friends, my gory friends, they actually think I think they think I'm like very Indian because I make like do like an Indian podcast. But I grew
Yeah.
up in New Hampshire around like white people, so I started working for a Bollywood network, and that was the only time I was like, wow, I totally don't fit into this culture at all. And people would make fun of me, like, how are you hosting on this show? You know
Yeah.
nothing about Bollywood, nothing. But like, we still go to temple and stuff, but it's really relative to your surroundings.
Also, your experience on the show like probably contributed to your expansive knowledge.
I don't
in
think it did.
Bollywood. Okay, never
I
mind.
think I was like an idiot.
It wasn't
on the show.
helpful.
Good thought. Didn't work though.
No.
You know, like,
Sometimes you have a thought, don't work. That was a thought that didn't work. That's all right.
Bushra, you said something about how on social media people started to like really showcase their heritage in a way to get engagement. And I don't know. I think for a long time, at least growing up here in SoCal, a lot of people wanted to distance themselves from their Indian identity and fit in and assimilate and not be like the weird Indian kid, and maybe now it's like cooler
It is
to,
cooler.
to own.
But then you
that,
almost feel like you have like if you don't choose that niche of being a brown girl, then you're not going to go far
It's
in
not
the
just
social media
young
space.
people though. Like remember we're like adults, they're like, my name's Danny, your name's Dinesh, dude. People
Right,
change their
it-
names
it's-
because they want to like appeal to like mainstream America.
even our
Yeah.
our
Or become
parents'
a rapper.
generation.
There's a lot of Sams and Danny and Ryans. I'm like, no, you're Rajput.
Because I get it.
James.
Yeah.
Because America can be kind of racist, and you do business on the phone. Sometimes people are like, I don't want to have my CPA some name I can't pronounce. They get scared. I'm sorry, but America, there is a lot of racism left in. So you want just to kind of have a level
Be
playing
better,
field.
America.
in group.
Yeah.
What about you, Tarun? So you said it's all relative to your surroundings, whether
Well,
you
funny story. So I came out here as an actor, and back then, like Cal Penn was the thing, though. Cal.
Yeah, yeah,
And he
yeah.
changed his name. His name was like Cal Penn Modi or something like that. So I was like, maybe that's holding me back. So for like 6 months, I actually changed my headshot to like put like TJ Shetty. I was like,
Oh my!
nobody-
It was TJ dog.
for like 6
TJ.
months.
Can you imagine
Hey,
that?
you
Was
know,
it
you gotta
TJ?
try things out.
I can see you as a TJ.
So I put on
You
my
do look. You have TJ vibes.
dude. So I put on my headshot.
Yeah.
Headshots are like acting like your photo.
Photos, yeah.
So I go to my agent. I'm like, hey, my name's TJ now, and they're like, what is this? And it was a complete failure. It didn't change anything. And I was like, I hated it. And I didn't tell anybody. I just wanted to audition. I was like, maybe casting directors would see, the name and bring me in more because it worked for Cal. It didn't work for me. So I was like, I'm just going to be Tarun. But even then I Americanized it because people say Tarun, it's Tarun,
Tarun.
So you can't win.
You can't win. Honestly, if I didn't join the acting industry when I did, like just several years ago, I probably would have thought of changing my name too if I joined it when you joined it.
But Bushra is like easy to say.
It is.
I almost thought I said it wrong.
What'd you say?
It's exact. And every time I
Am I
say it,
saying
I'm
that
like
wrong?
Bushra, and they're like, it's exactly how it's spelled. I'm like, yeah, you wouldn't think.
I've never met a Bushra.
I've never been a
Me
Bushra
either.
either.
Thank you.
I guess I can connect to that.
Thank my parents.
Actually, my Starbucks name was always Jasmine.
Get out.
Yeah. Anytime like someone would ask me for an order or name or whatever, it would always be Jasmine. They're like,
Starbucks
you look like a
name-
Jasmine. I'm like,
Her Starbucks
Starbucks
name is
name's
Bushra.
Bushra.
Yeah.
It's freaking. Look at the connection.
Whoa, we've just been living each other's lives.
My parents recently met this Indian woman, and her name is Sonia, but she goes by Jasmine as her name, and I was like, why?
From Aladdin, I think
Sonia's
it's just like
totally
accepted.
like
Sonia is
universal
so-
name.
yeah.
That's
Yeah, I
actually my
guess so.
sister's name, and I was like,
It's easy.
that's weird.
That's so weird.
But I feel like when I was in high school, they used to call me Pritesh
Yeah,
because I didn't know how to assimilate in a way, and I took me a while to really
Pritesh.
like my
Also in
name.
San Diego, yeah. it's
Yeah,
probably
and even
hard.
before that, because people didn't know how to say it, and I was just like, it's British with a P. And that's how I used to. When I
Yikes,
look back, I go,
Pritesh.
that is so
Yikes.
cringe that I used to say that. Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
ancestors are rolling in their grave.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing about America now, I think culturally we've assimilated more because when I was growing up, it really wasn't like this. Now you
Yeah.
see Indians on TV, so we were kind of an anomaly growing up. No, but when I was growing up, it was a lot different. It was like, I was like the token Indian kid.
No, I'm sure.
Was it different for your brother since his name's Neil, which is just way easier to say? And it's
We've never had this conversation, but I would assume so.
Yeah.
Right? I think when parents name their kids, definitely take that in consideration. Like, but I
Yeah,
think
my brother got the name Sean.
Huh.
It's just rude.
but that's a controversial take because and my parents named me Jasmine, right? Kind of to be like, okay, it's like
No.
Indian, but it's universal. And same with Sonia, my sister. My brother's named after my dad, so whatever. He faces the mispronunciations. But now it's like, no, you don't need to augment your names to assimilate.
Yeah.
Let people assimilate to your names.
What if they can't, like, how are you going to say Tarun? It's not spelled phonetically, Tarun.
But we
What did
say,
it say,
other
Tarun?
complicated names.
Hmm?
We say other complicated names,
Yeah. Well, I love my name. My mom gave me a name, so I will always use that name. I will never change that, but
What's the meaning?
it means young.
Young?
Forever young.
Nice. That
It means
labeling effect.
It means Botox.
It's
and-
working because you look great.
I mean,
Yeah,
the actor in
honestly.
LA.
But I think there's a middle ground, right? Because with my sister, when they had her, they thought she was gonna be a boy.
Yeah.
Because of the placement of her fingers and that,
Yeah.
but so she was born. They're like, it's a girl. We don't have a name.
It's not too
prepared.
late.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
That's
so,
hilarious.
so they're like thinking of names. So they asked the nurse of certain things, like you don't want to name her Gopi because everyone's gonna make fun of her, like Gopi, like things like that. You got to
Yikes.
think about the future in a way, in that way. And my sister's name's Komal, which still she had a very difficult time with
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
name because people call her Camel, all like her
Yeah.
childhood and stuff. So it's
Riding the
interesting,
camel.
right? Yeah.
Well, you know what's interesting about Hollywood now?
Thanks.
Now they embrace,
Sorry, Como.
they really embrace diversity. Like they really want people who are from, other countries. Like look at Kumail Nanjiani, who's from I think Pakistan.
Yeah.
They want people, or Ronnie Chang, who's from actually that country. They want people with authentic accents and people who actually embrace. So I think America has changed, and I think it's a good thing if you're in show business anyway.
It's also where we live. I mean, we are living all in first California, very diverse state in general.
I have to- sorry,
And
I
we
have
live in Southern California.
I have to say this. This is why I said maybe not right now, because I've watched a couple of shows now where the Indian girl has an Indian accent for no reason.
Really?
I
a
watched
doctor.
3 shows now, and I'm like, why does she have an Indian accent?
Yeah.
Nobody else, everyone else in the show is British, and this actress is British. She can just speak with her
Yeah.
British accent, but why does she have an Indian accent?
And there's no story about her immigrating from India. or
One of the
something?
3 shows, fine.
So
But
that- that makes sense
her
then.
older self was Tabu. So
Okay.
you know what? Fine.
That's
I'll
fair.
assimilate to Tabu's accent.
Yeah.
But these other 2 shows, I'm like, why does she have an Indian accent? It makes no sense. So I'm like,
Yeah.
is this acceptance of culture or what? Because there's no backstory of her accent or has no significance to the story. So, and they're new shows. So I'm like, wait, I thought we moved on from this.
They're like, we're casting you to be Indian.
Yeah, to have an Indian accent. And it sounds terrible because that's not their accent.
I've gone out to pilots like that.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, have you guys had to
Yeah.
do that for auditions?
I went
or
to an
in a
audition
show?
for a pilot where my character was born in Chicago, and they wanted
Yeah.
me to have an Indian accent.
How does that
And
make it make
one of-
sense?
And
Make
one
it
of
make
my
sense.
lines to a female that that I was like hitting on was like, if you had 4 legs and 4 arms, I'd be worshiping you. Like if
Okay.
she was like, it was like the most racist thing.
Wow.
And I couldn't believe I was, and I called the other actors. I'm like, did you say this line? And one of the guys was like, I'm not gonna say his name, but he goes, absolutely not. I just like improved around all the stuff I
Yeah.
thought was racist.
Oh man.
It was wild. I'm like, why does he have an accent? He's born in Chicago. He would sound like me.
Yeah, I've
Doesn't
definitely
make any
dealt
sense.
with what you went through as an actor. Hey, sorry to interrupt. If you like what you see, please consider advertising with us. Reach out at theconvosutra@gmail.com. How about the performance side? Because you're a great dancer. Do you feel like you've got to do more Indian performances, or do you feel like is the audience the same? Like, how do you feel about the performance aspect?
Yeah, in the performance world, I mean, I feel like I've had so many opportunities. I've performed at Hollywood Bowl. I performed at Crypto Arena. I hate calling it Staples
Staples.
Center.
Yeah.
I'm going there tonight for A.R. Rahman concert.
Oh,
Woo!
nice.
So I've been able to perform at these great stages that I grew up going to. I grew up watching Kobe Bryant
Yeah.
at the Staples Center, and to like perform there.
They're like, wear a
It's
sari. Like, nobody else is wearing a sari.
No, they were like terrible Amazon
Yeah.
outfits. Don't worry. Yeah. But having the opportunity to perform at these big stages because of South Asian artists, to then perform as a South Asian performer for these South Asian artists, it's a great ecosystem. Now we need to pay all of our South Asian artists. That's the next step.
Yeah, we talked about this last episode. Diljit Dosanjh had some controversy because they didn't pay, I guess. I don't know. I don't know the details there.
You-
But,
As part of this concert.
Oh, you
were?
also performed.
Oh,
there?
you performed.
I did, but like I said, it was for Kobe Bryant at the Staples Center. I didn't know when else I would. But again, you are taking advantage
Yeah.
of this opportunity that I really want, and I will take it. And it sucks, but another dancer will just take it, and it's like this terrible system that you're not helping the problem, but it's further perpetuating because
They
everyone.
leverage that emotional
Yeah,
thing.
they do. They
Yeah,
do.
they do that.
But he
in
has a new management, team, so hopefully things will get better.
But that's actually a similar issue we have with the unions because there's so much non-union work, and you
Yeah.
can be like, well, turn that down. But
Yeah.
if someone's gonna get paid $5,000 and they
then
need money for rent,
and you don't get to
they're
add
not-
work to your resume.
So
like,
they'll turn it down. But I'm like, I get that, but dude, because of that, we're not getting the residuals, not getting paid appropriately.
That's where being South Asians, I think, I was very lucky. I got to intern for free in New York because my parents could, support me.
Exactly.
Like I had so
Same.
many great internships, but my friends couldn't afford to do that. And then I was like, Mom, I'm gonna go do comedy, and I pissed everything away. And they're like, What? We worked. Why'd you do all this stuff? But I'm just saying though, as a
like,
South
and we're
Asian,
done with you.
a lot of South Asians have a leg up and have opportunities to do things, and you want that success. And I'm not faulting you for performing for free because I think it shows your hunger, your testament.
But
to,
that was the last live performance that I did, and it was truly the icing on the cake of exhaustion of trying to fight for my worth.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm done performing forever, but something needs to change.
I broke the straw. You're
Yeah,
not
it
gonna-
also
you
my
quit
husband was
dancing.
also just frustrated. He's like, "All right, we're done. We're done paying for you to perform."
Yeah.
So it's
I think it's important. I think it's good actually that you felt that way personally because it's a testament to like your own boundaries, right? Because sometimes at a certain point we get so used to getting taken advantage of, and especially in this business, and you get told it's okay to be taken advantage of, and at a certain point you go, no, I'm worth more than this, and that's not from an ego perspective. It's like self-respect,
Yeah, and it's a shift that needs to happen, and you're gonna get the quality of performers that you're not gonna pay for, basically.
That's a great question. Do you think South Asians are too nice in the business world or in general, or are we cutthroat like everybody else? Like, 'cause I know people who are very successful and kind of ruthless.
Too nice, like from which side? Like from the hiring side or from the?
Both sides. Are we?
It's too nice.
I feel like I'm too nice sometimes, and
But that's a personal trait, right?
I don't know. Is it a cultural thing?
I think
People
sometimes it's.
pleasing.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sometimes it's people pleasing. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, no, don't worry, that's okay.
Being
like,
overly polite.
Yeah, or
is,
I'm
like,
like,
instilled in
why?
us as
No,
a
that's
culture.
not okay. I do need some water on
Well,
set.
Jeez.
I guess.
God.
I mean, but there has been like an Indian like takeover in tech. I mean, look at all the big tech companies are run
Yeah.
by Indians,
Yeah.
which I love.
Amazing.
But there's also a divide because I obviously work in tech and being in a US based office and then maybe you have an offshore team in India. So I had to go and work in India with that team. Completely different vibe of the Indians who are in like the New York office versus the Indians in Mumbai in the office. Everyone's so warm and friendly
In
and
Mumbai.
collaborative. Yeah.
In Mumbai there.
In Mumbai.
Oh,
and
wow.
the Indians in the New York office are cutthroat, competitive,
Yeah.
whatever. And me too. Me as well. I'm not excluded from that. And it's kind of like
Scarcity
that-
mindset.
scarcity mindset, but also just like, achievement, extremely
Hustle
like
culture.
competitive.
But that's American culture, right?
Yeah, it's
that's
American
American
culture.
culture. We're so cutthroat compared to
Yeah.
other
We
places.
are assimilating to the environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I would say in South Asian countries, like in India and Bangladesh, like it's very much community based,
Team focused.
team focused. Like, how do we grow together? How do we build this home together? Like, it's not this individualistic mentality that we have here.
And there was a different communication style too, right? Even from our team in New York. And there's always a divide. It's hard with offshore, onshore teams and time difference and you're not seeing people, right? But then after I was working there for so long, I had to come back and tell my New York office, hey, don't speak to them like this. They actually, like, they're human beings too. They don't respond well to the American way of like, just do it like this. It's like, why don't you take the time to explain
Just get it done.
So you're
explain
basically
the
saying this is what I
context.
learned in India about.
Yeah, because I had never worked in India.
You come back to New York, like, speak with an Indian accent. That's what I learned.
I just said, like, give more context. Don't bark orders because also then there's this fear that they're not performing up to standards. So they might just say, yeah, I did do it. And then maybe it's not done exactly right. So if you can show, like, that you could be more graceful or lenient, they were like, no, I shouldn't have to adjust my, and this was, the white people I was speaking to. They were like, I shouldn't have to adjust how I'm speaking. They should just get it.
Yeah.
There are engineers. And I was like, well, they're people too. And, like, do you want a successful product or not? So I found it very, very interesting, the cultural divide for work.
Yeah. I personally think that there is something, the culture, and I'm just talking out loud here. I've kind of been self-reflection because my mom was so loving and I've been so nice. Sometimes I used to do things where I'd get like, I'd get a job referral and then I'd pass it to one of my friends, like, oh, he should get it too. And my mom would be like, why did you pass it along? I was like, because he's good too. The best person should get it. And she's like, you're nuts. But then after my mom passed, like, I realized how cold this world is. And I've realized I've become more ruthless, like on the phone. Like, I just don't care as much and I just want to get it done. And I was like, and I love my mom's support, but I was like, did that make me soft, because I just tried to like show that love to other people. But now I feel like almost everyone's out to get me sometimes.
Make you soft, but yes, you just said your mom's the one. Like, what are you doing? Even your mom was like, dude.
No, but I was too nice.
That's why. Yeah.
You're just too nice with her, but then she wanted you to be not too nice.
I was nice to everybody around me where I felt like it was holding me back in my career sometimes because I would like miss on opportunities because I wanted to elevate everybody.
Or in your
Yeah.
personal life.
Yeah, in personal life, like I would let women run over me sometimes.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be something of like, oh, hey, I got this audition. Let me send it to all my brown friends. No one does that.
It's funny.
That's
speak
actually
about
not
it
true though,
after.
because I just had an audition and I thought my friend fit the look way more than me, and he
Yeah.
did. And I emailed it to him, and he emailed it to his agent, and he auditioned for it.
Yeah.
So I have, because to me, I don't think it's a too nice thing, but it's like, for example, if I got an audition and I looked at it, I was like, this is Tarun. I'm still going to audition and I'm
Yeah,
still going to
yeah.
want to get it. Doesn't mean just because I passed. But I'm like, they're looking for a guy with his look, his charisma. Why would I not at least make him aware
See,
of
I
it?
disagree with you.
100%.
I feel like I'm with her. I feel like Indians. Yeah, maybe maybe you might be
I'm
different.
not sending it to everybody,
Yeah.
but I'm going to pick and choose people I care about. I'm not going to just do a blanket thing.
No, 100%.
There
Yeah.
was a guy, I'm not going to say his name. I went for an audition and we had to wear a tie. I forgot my tie. And I was like, hey, man, he went in before me. He walked out with the tie. I was like, can I use your tie for the audition? He goes, no, man, I have to go. I was like, it's going to take 2 minutes. He's like, yeah, no. I will never forget that guy, and I will never use him in any of my projects or
Yeah.
this podcast, and he's still
That's
around.
so sad.
Yeah, but it's like that will stay with you. And I was like, I couldn't believe because I was so nice, and I was like, how can you not let me borrow your tie for an
Wow.
audition? But the South Asian culture, like applying to med
Competitive.
school or whatever, it still applies to auditioning, like this the scarcity
Really in any
mindset.
field, yeah. It's really an American external environment that adds pressure to the scarcity mindset. So I don't know if it's Indian culture that makes
I think there's a lot of
people feel-
variables.
Yeah,
There's a lot of variables.
Or the most competitive, kind of ruthless Indians got to come
or even
here.
within your family.
That
like,
is
it's
true,
like,
though.
oh, hey,
That's
you better
true.
do better than your cousin, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe that works though, because look, we excel.
I mean, it does.
But it
yeah.
drives Indian kids crazy. I mean, look how many Indian kids are just like I see my
Sad and
nephew,
depressed.
I see my my nephews and nieces, and they get into great schools, but they work their ass off. Just like they're so stressed out. I'm like, I never had that stress. Actually, I did. Actually.
You just
No,
have
I
a
did.
self-realization
I
right
did.
there?
I did.
But I actually can connect to you because I've actually been talking about just to myself too, because there's been times, this is not me playing the victim at all, but there's been times where I felt like really nice. And there's been many moments where I feel like I give. And then I have a moment of resentment and then I completely cut ties. So, which isn't healthy.
Oh,
Which is like now I
You've been
communicate.
overly giving.
are you
Well,
kidding me, dude? I think your ability to walk away is the best. That is my samurai sword. If I feel like if
Hey,
I
let's
feel
not
like
bring in my swords
Throw
into this
back.
conversation.
if I feel like I've been betrayed in any way whatsoever, if I don't trust you, I will walk.
Yeah.
I've cut so many relationships where I'm like,
too.
that's
Don't
where
cross him.
You have to draw that line. in
No,
the sand.
but I agree with you. But the reason I want to expand on that is I do think that just for the other person and myself, that I should communicate that in the beginning. So if I'm feeling at the first instance of being disrespected, or I feel like I should just be able to communicate that until building it up within myself and haven't communicated it, and then I drop it.
But I mean,
Right?
sometimes that can be weird in a friendship setting, you know? And I think I could be guilty of not necessarily being, even though I come across very aggressive, I'm not very confrontational. in some
I'm not
ways,
at all.
'cause
I'm
Yeah.
not either. But
Yeah.
I hate confrontation, actually.
I don't mind it, but it's like I've had to be really pushed to a point. But if I just feel like slightly disrespected, I think I might give them grace, you know, and be like, okay, maybe it wasn't me, it was them. They were in a bad mood. And then it's like, you know, if it becomes a pattern, then you have to be like, okay, this person is like revealing themselves.
Yeah, there's a lot that you can't like take personally.
Bushra, how are you? Are you like confrontational? Or are you chill? You seem so chill. That's why I
She
feel
does
like
seem
on the
she's
podcast.
super chill.
She's super mean, bro.
Dude, in the corporate world, this was my feedback from my manager. You're a little too LA chill.
Oh,
This is when I moved to San
interesting.
Francisco for work. I was like, what does that mean? They're like, we just need a bit of sense of urgency from
I got that feedback too in New York.
You did?
Early on in my
I would
career.
not survive in New York. That's
See,
for
I
sure.
get that from her, and that's what I got from you when you came on the podcast the first time. I was like, she's so chill. Like she's like, yeah,
Thanks.
whatever.
I try and keep it chill.
So chill. She showed up a half hour late. She's like, yeah.
This time I was 15 minutes early.
Early but comfortable. You know, super chill. Super
Dave-
Rolled out of
Daisy
bed,
standard time.
Chill. So I'm super chill, but I'm a Taurus, so I'm very like bullheaded. So I will always speak my mind. And what's gotten me into trouble with friends is through college and high school before, gaining some tact. Is just saying exactly how I feel about a situation or like what they've done or, how they can be better to me or whatnot. And that's led to some, as my brother always says, he's like, you've gone through more friends than more people in a lifetime. And I'm like, that's just because, I filtered out what isn't meant for me. Okay?
Yeah.
Tact is important, though. I think that's an important word.
It is.
You have to learn because sometimes we get told just express how you feel. You can, but there's a way to do it too, right?
Yeah, that took me a very long time.
Yeah. I think for all of us,
Well, especially because at home, like with my parents, like
Yeah.
my dad is he will just say exactly like what he says.
Yeah.
And so there wasn't much tact at home. My mom, I could have followed my mom, but my dad was too overpowering. My mom was silent killer. Like,
Bushra, can I tell you though? I'm always looking for people for this podcast, and I was asking some people who are like really big influencers, and I was like, "Who can you recommend?" People have mentioned your name like right at the top. They're like, "Hey,
Really?
check up." Yeah, of course.
that's so
Yeah,
nice.
people. I'll tell you afterwards. Like people said, "Oh, check out Bushra." And I didn't even know you, and I reached out to you like months ago. Like people really like you in
Yeah,
Hollywood.
you weren't like, hey, Bushra, you're cool. You're like, hey, people told me I should have you, so you want to come?
Yeah, no, honestly, that,
was like, all right,
that
like,
helps
yeah, I'll
a
take
lot.
it.
That helps a lot.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah. So
Good. Well, I love people.
I knew you, and he asked me. I didn't bring you up, but random people apparently love you. I know you, and I was like, I didn't even think of you. You didn't even come up for me.
That's
no,
okay,
I did
Pritesh.
say-
I appreciate the
I did
honesty.
say Bush was dope. I did
It's
say
okay.
that.
I don't need to be top of mind. As long
My
as I'm
sister
like
says hi.
somewhere in the back.
My
I
sister
know.
says hi.
We went to
That's all that
college
matters.
together.
Yeah.
Love you, Komal.
But if okay, Tarun, so at work, if we asked, your boss or your coworkers about Tarun, what would they say about you?
Oh, I'm an asset, 100%. Because I kill myself for everything.
You're an asset.
Asset.
I
Yeah.
thought,
Asset.
okay.
I thought, yeah.
I thought you were gonna say something else.
No, if I work at something, I'm.
But
very
so they
valuable.
wouldn't feel like you're LA chill. They wouldn't feel like you're too aggressive or mean or
I
rude.
get the job done, and you can put me with high level people, and I'll fit in. Great.
Oh,
Utilitarian.
good.
So you get the
Yeah.
job done, and you leave. You don't like to
Like you can fit in and like do the thing.
I can fit in everywhere.
I can't be in a box, so it's a problem.
The only problem is like after a while, people can sense like I'm not happy. They're like,
Yeah.
they're like. Somebody said, my boss said, you've got this like malaise that hangs over you, don't you? And I was like, no, what are you talking about? Everything's fine. They're like, I don't think it is.
No, but is that you and you specifically like just life, or you're unhappy with the job?
the job, I was like, what am I doing here? I'm working so hard for something I don't care about.
Yeah.
But I think people could, but some people are just happy. Like they're dumb and they're like, oh, I love my job. I'm just like, I'm not like that.
I love
it's
how- I love
called
how-
being numb.
I love how happiness got equated to dumb. They're
Yeah.
just dumb, so they're happy.
I-
They don't know any
They don't
better.
know any better. They don't know how to be
Ignorance is
sad.
bliss, you guys.
Like-
Ignorance
no,
is
but
bliss.
that is my Achilles heel. Like I'm
You're not content.
I'm not the smartest person in the room. I know that. And like I've always said this, like this podcast is a team effort. It's not, I can't do it alone, and I have to, I have to check myself. And I failed so many times in my career. So like the proof is in the pudding.
You were redirected.
Thank you so much. See, there you go. That's why people like
That's how she
Bushra.
felt about all the friends she cut off. Hey, no offense, but I've been redirected
This
in a
is a
different direction
redirection.
to new friends who
No,
respect
no,
me.
actually, they all left me, guys.
sure they
I'm
did.
a lover. I'm a
Really?
lover.
People
They
cut you off?
left
They
me.
got they redirected.
They
from you.
redirected from me.
Got it,
I
got
was
it,
too
got it.
much.
Which was
I'm
too
a lot in the sense like I'm just honest, and so I always tend to because of my energy. I guess I attract to someone who's opposite
Yeah.
of me to balance that, and so sometimes that's
Bold
a lot. Well,
personality
especially in
to-
high school and college with those raging hormones that I couldn't control at the time. Not that I yelled at anyone, guys. I didn't yell at anyone. It was just
But
a
who
lot of
doesn't-
emotions.
Who doesn't have that? I mean, in college.
Yeah.
Were you talking about raging hormones?
Yeah.
But I want to go back to what she said because
that
of
now.
honesty. It's interesting because having
Sometimes.
traveled,
me.
and even like when I go to India or just like having gone to 2 weeks to Africa, and when you leave America, or especially I'd say like the city, you realize there is a part of American culture where it's you can't be real.
Yeah.
And you're just like you could be crossing someone on the
Yeah.
sidewalk and you have to say, "Oh, I'm sorry," and like all
Right.
this like politically correct and being overly polite, which doesn't
Right.
feel like I always say, I was like everyone. I'm sick of nice. I like kind. I don't like nice. Nice feels really fake. How are you? Oh my God, it's so good to see you. Nice. It's like, you don't mean any of this stuff. I'm just like in other countries, like even in India, someone can brush up against you. You don't like, they don't say excuse me. It's just like life. We moving through life a little bit. And I kind of appreciate that honesty, and I don't know.
It's
nice
I
to be
can't
around.
lie. That's the thing. Like I just can't. And and like you said, like similar to you, if I'm feeling something, you'll see it on my face.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but it's
too.
just the case.
So you're not happy
if
right
I
now?
have gas, I'm sorry, my face is gonna be a little bit perturbed.
Look at Jazz's face when you said gas. Look at Jazz's face. When you said gas, girl, did you see Jazz's face? She was
She's
so
like,
uncomfortable.
I'm triggered.
Hear it.
I'm getting gurgles.
Yeah,
I'm
look at
internally
Jazz.
combusting.
Jazz is queen of the eye
all
rolls
are.
here on the podcast. Just look
Queen
at
of
her.
She can't help
The
it.
amount of eye rolls I get edited out.
Queen of the eye rolls here on this podcast. Like her facial expression, she's like,
I know.
Soul sister, dude.
I do have a resting phase, but I was at lunch yesterday with a girlfriend who's going through a divorce, and I was like, I told you not to marry him.
You
And
said that?
I did it because I was like, no, I think you could do better. I was in college. I was like, no, I know you've been dating for 6 years, but I think you could do better. And she married him.
that's a good run though. If you told her in college,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have kids.
Yeah.
Ooh,
And
that always makes it
but-
tougher.
But I was complaining to my friend later, and I was like, she should have just listened to me. And it's like, who's gonna listen to you, 19 years old, don't know anything, and you're just like, don't marry him.
Is she
Yeah,
Indian?
she's gonna be like, "Are you jealous? Do you want to be with him?"
No, she's not like that, but it's like, oh, that's like in the way that you're saying, like that's a tactless thing to say.
Right.
Now I know that, right? It's tactless, and it took me a long time to learn that. She could have very easily been like, I don't want to be friends with her anymore. Like, because some people aren't ready to
Accept the truth.
accept the truth or hear something that they're just not like in a place to hear.
Well, love is a
right.
fugue state. I mean, even when you're like that, you can't really think clearly.
Yeah.
You can't listen to other people's opinions.
That's why
Like,
tact is very important in how you express what you're trying to say.
Yeah,
But do you
it's
think
been a lifelong lesson.
Do you think a relationship is a failure because it doesn't last forever?
No.
I mean, you always learn something from anyone you come across, even if you're dating a month or whatever.
That's how I look
but
at it. Yeah.
The friendships I lost
mean-
were not failures. They were just a moment in time.
It's an investment,
They have
though.
different opinions. They're like, what a waste. Bushra, 2 years. I could have had another cool friend. Now she's gone.
I was dating a girl.
One of
and
them tried coming back. Okay.
Really?
They sometimes they do.
I was like,
try
we're
coming
done
back.
here.
You shut the door? Good.
Yeah.
I love that. Good job.
Once they betray you,
I really
they will
love
betray
Loves
you again.
cutthroat endings. He's like, good.
Yeah.
Dude, I love walking away from people. People have no idea. I've told people this before. I was like, you think I'm a nice guy?
It's like Craig David walking away.
Otherwise, people run over you in this town, man.
What were you gonna say about the girl you were dating?
Oh, good friend of mine. He's really honest with me, and sometimes he's abrasive if people don't really like him. And he goes, she's sandbagging you, man. He goes, she's taking up your time and she's holding you back. And it really hurt when he said that. And I thought about it, and I was like, he's absolutely right. And when I broke up with her, everything moved like so much faster. Like,
Were you in love with her?
no, I wasn't.
Okay.
But I just hung in there because I felt like I kind of felt like this is, I should
want this.
it's comfortable, we were
Yeah.
in that situation, but it took up so much time. But you need those friends, to be honest with you. So maybe Bushra's that friend.
I'm not.
Yeah, and honestly, the friends that I have
Yeah.
now, like they just know the way that I speak and they don't take offense to it. But I'm never personally attacking them because I have more tact now. Shout out to my husband for teaching me.
You have tact, Pritesh?
Do you think I've talked?
I don't know. I don't think you do. I think you just say how it is.
Well, he's a comedian. I think if he had tact, he wouldn't have a
I think-
job.
I
think-
disagree. Actually,
What?
I think you have a high degree of like emotional intelligence. So you do. If you want to be abrasive, you are, but you know when to not be abrasive.
I appreciate it.
I
Actually,
agree.
I agree with that because it's taken work to get to that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I'm not going to, you probably do this too as a comic. I use comedy as a big tact thing,
Yeah.
right? Because that lightens the
crutch.
load. Yeah, I use it
Yeah.
as a crutch too, but I think it's nice to be able to say something and just add a little twist of comedy with it so it lands
Yeah.
like lighter on some people who may have a hard time letting it land if I don't make them laugh with it. And I don't consider that a cop out. But yeah, I've actually learned to just shut my mouth more because I have friends who are in relationships that I don't get. I don't understand.
support.
And it's not even support. I'm like, this doesn't make sense to me. But then I go, who are you? Their relationship doesn't need to make sense to you.
No,
And so it's like, I don't understand your ancestral karma. I don't know your purpose in this lifetime. I don't know what your soul wants.
Yeah.
And I don't know what this person feels within you, dude, because like,
Yeah.
we can't communicate like things I felt with friends and people. I've had my other people go, I don't get this. I'm like, well, this fuels me and it does something for me
Yeah.
that you won't understand.
And
So-
sometimes friends only share kind of most of the negative because that's what they're
true.
explaining to, and then that's what kind of stings and lingers with you. But you don't know all the.
it's like a Yelp
positives.
review. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what you do well though? Like you take notes well. Like sometimes I'll say stuff to you and I was like, I don't have to like really hold back because you'll just like take it all in and then you'll make these incredible adjustments. I think that's your acting background. Like,
Yeah.
you'll make the adjustment, you know, not to get into details, but and I was like, oh, he does that well. But some other people, I know if I told them or her, I don't know how to use pronouns anymore.
If you told them, you don't need to worry about pronouns here.
But if I told he, them, her, whatever, they take offense to it. And I'm like, it's not a personal attack. It's just for the best.
But there's a reason because I knew
Constructive feedback.
I wasn't taking it personal from you.
Yeah.
Because I already trusted your input, right? So then it's like, well, you're not personal because I know you're a type of guy who's just like, I want to get stuff done.
It's for the
I
best
don't-
interest of the show.
That's why-
We all have the same goals.
But
here.
that's my point because I know you're not making a person. Now, if I felt energetically or
Yeah.
I felt like you had malicious intent, it'd be
No,
a
it's
different
never personal.
conversation.
Yeah, like if he's trying to put you down, like
Then I'd be
everything's
like, yo,
about
bro, we gotta have a talk,
intention.
dude. I don't like how
Yeah,
you
I do
talk
that
to
behind
me,
your
man.
back, Pradesh, not to your face.
I know, and I talk to your brother behind your back. It's fantastic. I know all the family dudes.
I'm sure so many people talk behind my back. I don't even care. Well, I
don't
welcome
care.
it.
Yeah, if you don't know, I actually was good friends
Everyone,
with
get in
Tarun.
the comments. Talk behind Tarun's back.
Well,
It's
people don't know I
fine.
was good friends with Tarun's brother. I am good friends with Tarun's brother way before I met him or
Yeah.
even knew him. So that's interesting. I knew so much about him and his family before I became closer
Yeah.
to him.
No, I think it's all about. I mean, a great personality trait is being able to take feedback, and even if it's from someone who you think shouldn't be giving you feedback,
That
Don't
can
listen.
get messy.
that can. But
Yeah.
you know, sometimes it's
Bushra,
not.
I like you with your hair down better than tied up.
Why? Because it's giving trad life.
Like mom vibes.
That just came out of nowhere, and I love
You
it.
want to
takes-
see if she can take the feedback?
She takes feedback
So
well.
left
She's
field.
like, excuse me.
You know what? My husband also likes it when my hair is.
Are you
down
gonna cut him
too.
out? Is he one guy that's cut out of your life now?
We're
You're
done
gonna be
here.
blunt. and
However,
honest?
I'm taking over this podcast.
She's super pretty though, so it doesn't matter what she does.
Thanks, Tarun. You know what? Most guys like when my hair is down, but you know what? I don't put my hair up for men.
We don't live for the male gaze.
I
she's
put it up
married.
because I haven't
Why?
washed it in 3 days.
They all
Oh,
do.
really? What'd you say? I'm sorry.
She's like, we don't live for the male gaze. I'm like, they all
Oh.
do. They all do, Jazz.
That's right. This bun is not for the male gaze.
They say
don't
guys
think-
like
I think-
that.
Top is for the male gaze.
I think see that's an advantage women have. You can literally
This outfit is also not for the men.
no, but you girls can literally get ready and do yourself up and feel really good and pretty about yourself, and
Yeah.
then you know before you leave the house that you're gonna get attention.
It depends.
Guys don't have that.
There was this whole account called Man Repeller, and it was like outfits purposely designed to like not be attractive to men. So like boxy suits and
Yeah.
this,
Sweatshirt.
very like a strict hair and like strong brows, and it was like, okay,
Huh.
you know,
That's a choice.
yeah.
Can I tell you though? I'm now purposely trying to be sexier, at least look better on my Instagram. I now take more
I've seen that.
selfies.
We've
I'm like,
seen
screw it.
a
I
lot.
was like,
Lot of
screw it. You
imagery
know
of
what?
the room.
I deserve. I
recognition.
deserve DMs.
You deserve the woman gaze.
I deserve the women gaze.
He's like, I
You know
deserve
what?
more women that sandbag my life
You know
and that
what?
run all over me.
Back to Tarun thinking that women get followers so easily because
Yeah.
they're like so
Absolutely.
pretty and whatever.
You have way
No,
more followers than
no,
me.
No, that's true.
No, but
She's the influencer.
No. I have found some men on social media that are just muscular. Take their shirt off. They're just drinking chai. They're just like,
Oh, yeah.
they're just flirting
I don't
with the
do
camera.
that.
I
With
did
their
that one
dog
time,
shirtless.
But you know what? They're getting.
I should do that.
They're getting attention. That's fine. You know, you should milk that. Just like you should milk your selfies. Post it.
I
Can I
do
tell
not
you-
agree with those
Most of my
statements.
audience
I
is
will not. I
female.
hate selfies. I'm good on all
That's
that.
not your thing. It's
I'm not
fine.
gonna take
Me
my
either.
shirt off. I'm good on all that.
I did a get ready with me. I was like the podcast. I had a shot where I was getting out of the shower, and I was like, should I do this? And I was like, I'm gonna get so many like followers. Like nobody cared. I was like, nobody
You
cared.
have to keep doing it.
He's like, I objectified
You have to
myself.
keep doing it.
You have to keep
doing it.
exploiting
It's all about
yourself.
consistency.
Tarun's like, if I'm gonna objectify myself, I need results. He doesn't get results.
all about
He's just
consistency.
naked though. He's
I
like,
was
this is even
I'm
worse.
going back to flannel. I'm going back to
it's
just
all about consistency, Tarun.
Going back to the burqa.
yeah.
You can't be in it for the short term gain.
And then it's
The long-term
stylist
gain.
or something.
I don't think so.
I think you're dressed
that's
great.
a-
What do you
that's
mean?
I don't think that's a barrier.
Stylist is not a problem for you. You got great.
Yeah,
style.
you have great
Really?
style.
This is
Yeah.
like total like New Hampshire look right
Yeah.
here.
That's what people want.
They want New Hampshire look.
You're good.
You look like TJ Shetty, okay?
Yeah, TJ Shetty, dog. And do you know what TJ Shetty does? He layers. TJ Shetty layers,
Great
dog.
callback.
He's ready for fall.
Yeah.
Unbelievable callback.
Which is
Bushra.
actually one of my favorite Indian names, even in Invisible Brown. It was Tejas. I love Tejas.
Tejas.
Oh.
Tejas is my favorite male name, but the problem is you get called Tej, what you know, and then the other thing I don't like about that name is everyone turns it into nicknames, so it becomes TJ,
Or
Yeah.
Tejas.
Tejas, or just
Yeah,
turns
Tejas.
something else.
They're like, oh, Hispanic.
I think we've had enough fun banter for today.
Yeah,
From one question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
from
from
one
one
question.
question.
See, one question can just set a
Amazing.
whole.
that was awesome.
Yeah, fun show. Hey, Bushra, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me at b.confident, KHANFIDENT.
You can find me at the Pritesh Shah.
You can find my show at Hot Chai Pod on YouTube.
And you can find me at Tarun Shetty. Please follow us on social media at the ConvoSutra. Please share our social media, get the word out about this show. We appreciate you, and we will see you guys next episode. Thanks so much. Take care.
Bye.